Welcome to a macro view, where we take an in-depth look at Roll20 macros and break them down in an attempt to make you a better macro maker. Thanks for joining me. My name is Jim. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is going to be an introduction video to what the purpose of this channel is, and some very, very basic things about how to create a macro. The purpose of this channel is to be a repository for specific macros for specific actions, whether it be attacks, spells, etc. So the goal is to have a video for specific things. Let's say it's Cure Wounds or Thunderwave or Sacred Flame, or pick one, and I want to have a video for each one of those, explaining the macro that goes with that particular action. The videos are going to be short, 3 to 5 minutes hopefully. This one will be longer, and some may be longer depending on how in depth it is, but I want to make them short so you can get through them quickly, and then we will get into more detail about how macros are built and some of the more complex stuff that we run into. And so I guess the question is, what's the purpose of a macro? And it's really just an instruction to Roll20 uses to execute an attack, saving throw, skill check, feature feat, all any of those things. Now Roll20 has come a long ways. We've used Roll20 for years, and their character sheets used to just be character sheets, and now they're fully integrated with the ability to click on most of the stuff on a character sheet, and it runs basically built-in macros, and that's great. So the question is, well, then why do you need macros? And there are definitely advantages to having macros. One is that a lot of the stuff in the character sheet is very, very wordy. Sometimes it's paragraphs long or a whole bunch of information, especially spells. When you're talking about, they can get pretty detailed. In a macro, you can just condense it down to the very necessary information you need, whether it's range or AoE or saving throw or damage or attack. And you're not putting all that information. You can put abbreviated explanations in. You're not have to see paragraphs. And the format, I use the default template, and we use D&D 5e. So, but this works for macros. Work for basically any character sheet for any system, and as long as you have, because macros pull from abilities and attributes, modifiers, all sorts of stuff on a character sheet. And so as long as you have the character sheet, no matter what system you're using, you should be able to do macro. So so this is Roll20 that we're in right now. We're running the Critical Role Call in the Netherdeep. We are in the Netherdeep. We're close to the end, and I have a party of 5 people. Aru is our warlock, Zregger is our barbarian, Rin is our bugbear monk, Kira is a human wizard, and Skiki is a tabaxi druid. And so we will be using their macros, their information, because it's already been created. I have a document 14 pages long or something with every macro that we've used, and so I'll have a lot of videos coming out fairly quickly. So what I've done is, if you go to the journal, here's the character sheets, and for each character I create a sheet with their macros. So here's Rin's macros, here's Skiki's macros, and so they can just copy this and paste into a macro. They're off and running, so they don't have to be an expert on it. They don't have to do all the years of research that I've done, and so it makes it really quick. So, how do you create a macro? Well, you just go to your collections, which is up in the upper right corner. It's the 3 lines. and you click add. If you're adding a new one, I'm not going to add because I already have these two up at the top untitled. So you click on it, you name it. Let's say it's Thunderwave, and then you paste your macro in. You can test it if you'd like while you're here, and you can show us the token action we'll look at in a second. And you save changes. One note on the name. So if I were to paste, I'm going to do this real fast. Firebolt, and I'm doing this in Notepad. I'm going to copy Firebolt with a space, and then I'm going to paste it in here. And so there's a space in the name right here. Can't have that or it'll break. So if you're typing this in Firebolt and you hit space, Roll20 puts a hyphen in for you automatically. So that has to be there. So don't copy and paste in names with spaces or it will break. So if you click show as token action and then you save changes, and it will be named whatever you name it. So if you click show as token action, when you click on a token, that's the buttons up here at the top. And you have to click on a token to be able to use these buttons. And this is great for a DM, which I will go over in a separate video. So a DN can control a lot of stuff, but a character can also put actions up top. One of the reasons is if you fill up your bar on the bottom, sometimes you decide whether you want to click on your token or not. The other option is when it's over here, whatever you name it as, you can click on in bar here, and it puts it down here on the bottom. And so these can be moved left and right. You can right click, change the color. And one note on the names when you're naming these is you want to name them as short a name as possible, possibly even abbreviations, because the longer the name, the fewer buttons you get on the bottom. The shorter the name, the more buttons you get. So, and you only get one row. So that's how you create macros. And so going forward, we'll get specific on given macros. Hopefully people will put in the comments if you don't see a macro for what you need, then you can just put in the comments, I need a macro for poison spray or, magic missile or whatever. If it's not already here, I will look it up, do my best to make a video of it, a macro and a video, and I will mention you in the video. And so that's the goal. I want to, make this the biggest repository of specific macros for Roll20 on the internet. Just not too lofty of a goal. So hopefully you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.